There has been a misunderstanding by the populace at large and by most people as to what exactly a virus is and what COVID-19 is. There is not a good understanding of the general public of the science involved, let alone the spiritual implications. And because there is not a good understanding, there has been misunderstandings. We have told you clearly there is nothing new under the sun, and some have said, oh, but this must be a new virus, otherwise humanity would have been decimated a long time ago. But you must understand that because something exists does not necessarily mean that it is going to be in a place or situation to make it lethal or even have impact on the human race or various parts of the animal kingdom or whatever at the time until something allows it to do so. Now, in the essence of spiritual reality, we tell you that all things are living. However, in the realm of science, there is a definition of what is living and what is dead. And a virus does not fit either definition. There are things that science has trouble classifying for one reason or another, because to be living, something must reproduce in a certain way, or to be living, something must consume food or produce waste. To be what science would call dead, something must lose certain capabilities or be functioning in a certain way or not functioning. Now, that all being said, a virus does not meet the scientific criteria to be a living thing. Therefore, a virus can never actually be killed. A virus also does not meet the criteria to be a dead thing. So, a virus is not really ever brought to life. You might think of a virus as being activated or deactivated. And the truth is that a virus, because it is neither alive nor dead, basically has infinite or eternal life, which means it can be stored in your soil, it can be stored in nature or in anything for minutes, days, thousands of years, and then be activated. So then you would question, saying, if that is true, why is it said that viruses live on some surfaces and die on other surfaces? Other materials kill viruses, while some materials make viruses live. Well, first understand, if something is neither alive nor dead, then it is not being killed. So what you are looking at is that some surfaces have a different electrostatic field, and that electric field actually is able to basically pull apart or deconstruct the viral mechanism. Different things like copper or stainless steel or hair or skin or plastic all have an electric field. They emit or have a static field, and that field interacts with everything. You slide across a carpet and touch an electrical outlet or something metal, and a little spark jumps to your finger. If you have your mental facilities developed enough, you can meditate and actually stimulate the electric neurons in the body and the brain. You can stimulate such that you can create a force of voltage equivalent to a lightning strike. You have that power innate. Humans don't generally use that power. In fact, most animals use the power in different ways. There are sharks that use the electrical sense to navigate and to find prey. There are birds that use the electromagnetic field in order to navigate. There are electric eels that use such in order to stun prey. There are fish deep in the ocean that use such in a similar manner. In a similar manner, it can be used in a low intensity to interact with viruses. And this is why some surfaces kill viruses, quote unquote. They are not killed. They are deactivated. They are actually deconstructed. But a virus that is existent and is not deconstructed has an eternal lifespan. Again, using the word lifespan very loosely in scientific parlance. So this virus has been around for a long, long time. There is nothing new under the sun, as King Solomon said. And this is pretty much true. For what was created is and is in eternity, but it is all evolving also. So, where did this virus come from in the beginning? We have told you it was already existent, it was already in nature. Some of you say no, we say yes, and all you have to do is learn a little bit about science and learn about the longevity of viruses in the natural environment. Then we would tell you that greed, which has allowed climate change, or should we say to some extent provoked climate change, and greed which has allowed deforestation and deep mining, has brought this to you by exposing that which was contained in areas where the population wasn't, and has brought it to the population, it being neither created in a lab nor simply transported from market, for it actually came from the forest and mines. That is the origin. Now the question becomes, what is the ability of mankind to deal with it? And specifically, we will talk to the United States of America. The easiest way to have dealt with this was the idea of quarantine and isolation. But the key word here is was, because that opportunity only existed in the beginning. And you reach a point where such becomes impractical. At this point, it is virtually impossible, because it is practically, in other words, practically impossible doesn't mean, oh, almost impossible. It means in practice, in practicality, it is impossible, because you cannot do at this point what would need to be done to contain it by those measures. That is the simple reality. When you missed the window of opportunity, you've missed the window of opportunity. Period. So, what do you do now? Now, what you do is first understand that the idea of what science calls herd immunity, and since we would rather think of you as spiritual beings than animal beings, we will call collective immunity, does exist over a period of time. But surely, surely, surely there must be a better way. And there is a better way. But this will take a little investigation by scientists who have not fully reached the ability to make this idea practical, although some researchers will understand what we are saying, and they will know how it can be done on a small scale. It is possible for viruses to be killed in different ways. UV light is a good example, but that becomes a question mark for some people, because the radiation of the light, or the spread of the light, dissipates its effectiveness so that you only have a very small area near where the light is emitted that actually kills viruses or bacteria. So it is still a viable source, as air can be forced through such, and the air in an enclosed system can be kept purified. Meaning that if the virus were to come into the air would be contaminated only as long as it takes for the air to be purified. So if you are recirculating air, the speed at which that air is recirculated and at which it is purified can greatly lessen the viability of the virus by lessening exposure. Likewise, static fields can be placed at entrances, which would allow the decimation of the virus by deconstructing it as you pass through the field. Thus, if it is on you, it would be destructed, but it would not take care of what is in you. Because there is nothing that you can utilize at this time that would actually pass through the being. And there are plenty of things that pass through you every day, radiations of different consistencies and frequencies. But these do not kill you, and they do not harm the cells in your body. And anything that would deconstruct the virus would also injure you in some way. So there is no way for you to take care of that which is internal, except for the use of certain herbs at this moment. Now understand, science will find that there are other ways to stimulate the immune system, but again, none of these kill the virus. What these things do is allow your body to be enhanced so it can naturally take care of healing itself and deconstructing the virus as it would normally and heal you. So you must then realize that this is now with you to stay, but there is more than that. Understand that such things as influenzas can also be deconstructed, so to speak, or killed via certain electrostatic fields and via the use of the appropriate light. So what we are telling you is that what would be beneficial for one will be beneficial for many other things. But what we are also telling you is that if you think this minor virus being released due to greed is an issue, then you really need to look at what you are doing to your planet. Because this is very minor. There are viruses and bacteria in your planet to which humanity has not been exposed for millennia, even since humanity. And the exposure to those would be as devastating as the exposure to European illnesses were to the Native American population. There have been times in history when the population has been nigh near annihilated. And that is not an impossibility if you greedily, without proper caution, simply rip the earth apart. Because there are more things in the earth than humanity has imagined. And they are more dangerous than humanity has believed. You are capable now of containing this in the way in which we speak, and ultimately bringing health to society. But that will not protect you from future foolishness. So we encourage you, take care of Mother Earth, and Mother Earth will take care of you. Continue to greedily rape Mother Earth, and nature will wreak havoc upon humanity, not because God judges you, but because you disturb the natural balance, and nature is a balance that remains and restores itself. This is simply one of the laws of creation put in place from the beginning of the explosion of the universe. That silent roaring explosion. We leave you with blessings and with peace. Peace be with each of you.